know of at least 8 or to 10 other instances in the last just few months, right, of this happening. People have gotten shot, tackled, pepper sprayed, and for just doing nothing but just taking pictures.
So, added to the victim portal, we have a new entry in the victim portal. Photographers. Who had that on their 2020 bingo card? Their 2021 bingo card. Who had that on their 2021 bingo card? That photographers were going to start being marked men while doing their jobs. Now, if they're media members of photographers, if they're like photographers for a news channel like this one, or any other news channel, liberal news channel that, spread lies and divisiveness all last year and misrepresented stories and just basically caused a lot of death and destruction in communities of color, disenfranchised communities, then I applaud it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that their photographers are getting their comeuppance. It doesn't bother me. But if they're just photographers working and just, it's just their job and they're just, freelance or whatever, freelance photographers, then I think that's wrong. But it was only a matter of time before the chickens came home to roost. If they're talking about photographers for mainstream liberal rags in mainstream liberal news publications and outlets, the chickens have come home to roost.
Know of at least 8 or to 10 other instances in the last just few months, right, of this happening. People have gotten shot, tackled, pepper sprayed, and for just doing nothing but just taking pictures.
Bay Area photographers and others across the entire country are banding together. They want to ignite change by the camera manufacturers after countless thefts and violent robberies. More recently, a Fremont man was robbed at gunpoint after he was followed home by thieves from the Marin Headlands where he was taking pictures.
So now I've done 1,000 stories on people following shoppers home from malls and then robbing them in their driveways. We've done 1,000 stories on that, especially in the Houston area. It's very big in the Houston area. Now photographers are out taking pictures or getting some film or getting a shoot in, and it's some sunteens or sunmen lurking in the cut, waiting to follow him home and rob him of his camera equipment. What profession would they have to do this to for it to start, like, for the mainstream media to be like, all right, we got to cover this. And we got to cover it like, beware of this group because this is the group that's doing it. They look like this. Like, they're following home shoppers and robbing them on the regular. You don't think it's that bad because they don't cover it on the mainstream media. It's only the local news that cover it. So most of you guys, even you guys that are this channel, you guys don't know how bad that is. People shop, and also you don't shop at high end. Like, you're not going to the Gucci store. You're not going to Tiffany's or K Jeweler. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not in, not in the high end stores. Okay? Nordstrom's and shopping out there, the Prada store. So you probably don't this doesn't cross your. Nobody's following anybody home for Target. I hope not. But they're following shoppers home, and now they're following photographers home. What happens next? I mean, who's next? And we know who's doing it. Like, I mean, where's the reaction to this, man? These people are doing their jobs. And now they're being targeted so much that they have to band together as like across the country to try to stop this. And they'll get no help from the government. This is going to be them.
More recently, a Fremont man was robbed at gunpoint after he was followed home by thieves from the Marin Headlands where he was taking pictures.
Crown 4's Taylor Basaki talked with him tonight and shares the petition that's now circulating in the photography community.
Terrifying moments when an East Bay man was robbed at gunpoint right in his own Fremont driveway.
The whole thing happened and it was over within 10, 20 seconds, right? So there was not even a moment to kind of have a rational thought about, what should I do in this case?
Lewis, who didn't want to use his last name, says he had just returned home from shooting photos in Marin when two men in face masks approached his car. Soon after, they smashed his back window and took off with his camera bag. Reviewing his Tesla cameras and home surveillance, he quickly realized the suspects had been following him to his house all the way from the North Bay.
I impacted their car just to kind of stop the escape, right? And that's when I saw the driver and come out and come around his car with a gun pointed to my face, right? And I'm like, oh, this is just terrible, right? Like I'm just kind of freaked out. And he walked around my car, and that's when I heard the gunshot go off.
Thankfully, no one was injured, but Lewis and other photographers say this incident from September proves that it doesn't matter where you are. If you're seen with a camera, you instantly become a target.
No matter where you are, if you're seen with a camera, you instantly become a target. Is this America? What is going on? I mean, like, it doesn't feel real. This feels like something out The Onion. I promise you, this feels like a story out of The Onion. What, these guys don't have jobs? They're just always around. Like, they're at the mall. They're like wherever photographers are shooting, in the woods, in the park. Like, they're just all around lurking. And they talk about, and every time something, if you ask any of these brothers why they ain't got nothing, because the Illuminati, some shadowy group is holding them back. The powers that be, the man. It's some shadowy faction or some shadowy secret society that's responsible for the reason they can't succeed in life. Yet they're the ones lurking in the shadows, following people home and stealing their stuff at gunpoint.
This incident from September proves that it doesn't matter where you are. If you're seen with a camera, you instantly become a target.
I think people like to believe there's something that they could do to avoid this crime, or they think it hasn't happened to me because I've been smart enough to do X, Y, Z. And I think the truth is that if you're out there with an expensive piece of equipment, it's a matter of time.
Popular YouTubers and photographers Chelsea and Tony Northrup have been pushing for better anti-theft technology and cameras for a while now. They, along with Lewis and other photographers, just started a petition to demand change from camera manufacturers.
What we need to do right now is tell camera manufacturers that we need some kind of protection on our devices, just like you would expect with any other expensive modern piece of electronics.
Think about this. They're petitioning Kodak, Fiji, and all these other camera makers to put something in the camera, some anti-theft device, some tracking device, something that can help them at least retrieve or trace their camera when inevitably, according to them, she said it's just a matter of time. When inevitably a group of Sunmen see you out doing your job and follow you home and rob you in your driveway for your cameras. But you know what they're not asking? Sunmen to stop. They're not asking Sunmen to stop because these people are woke. These are California liberals, a photographer from California, a glacier glider photographer from California. Super woke. They know that they can't get on the news and ask Sunmen to stop. That's out of the question. That makes you a racist. So they're usurping the Sunman and they're going straight to the manufacturer and demanding change. And if this happens across the country with everything, like I said before, what's next? What's their next look going to be? And people don't ask for any change in behavior, because then these people are not going to ask for, at least on here, 5-0, the step in. And I ask for the pigs, because that's probably what they call them, the pigs. Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. These people to do something about it. Then I ask the pigs to do something about it. But how could this country be so racist that these glacier gliders, who are supposed to have the system is behind them, they can't even fix their mouths to ask for the police that they pay taxes, their taxes pay their salaries. These people don't get no tax return. They owe at the end of the year. Unlike you Sunmen getting back $10,000, $5,000. These people owe at the end of the year. Their money's paying these cops' salary. They can't call on community leaders in the Sun community to address this and get this under control. They have to go straight to the camera makers and address them. Wow.
What we need to do right now is tell camera manufacturers that we need some kind of protection on our devices, just like you would expect with any other expensive modern piece of electronics.
Some of their suggestions in the petition include passcodes, lens pairing, GPS tracking, biometrics, and remote disabling. So far, a couple thousand people have backed the cause and signed the petition. I'm Taylor Bisacki reporting, Cron 4 News.